She was 14 when the world went dark. A car accident had taken away not just her sight, but the lightness in her laughter. Her name was Emma, small, quiet, with a way of speaking that always sounded like she was trying not to break. She hadn't spoken much since that day. Her mother Grace tried everything, therapy, music, even volunteer programs, but Emma would only sit near the window, listening to the rain, whispering, "I just wish I could see him again, Mom." The him she spoke of was Max, their golden retriever, who had died in the accident trying to protect her. If you believe kindness still exists, take a second to like this video, subscribe to Kindness Thread, and share your thoughts below, because your words might touch someone's heart today. Months passed. Grace had almost given up trying to reach her daughter when a letter arrived from the city's police K-9 rehabilitation center. It said they were launching a new program. Retired police dogs would be trained to assist the visually impaired. Grace hesitated. She knew those dogs, trained to chase criminals, not guide gentle souls. But Emma overheard her reading the letter and said softly, "Can we just go once, Mom? I just want to feel what it's like to walk with a dog again." And so, one rainy morning they went. The hallway smelled of disinfectant and steel. Every cage had a nameplate, Rex, Bolt, Hunter. Then they stopped before a cage that carried a warning sign, "Duke, do not approach." Inside, a massive German shepherd stood, muscles tense, eyes sharp. He let out a low, thunderous growl that made even Grace step back. But Emma, wearing her blindfold and holding her white cane, tilted her head slightly and said, "He sounds angry or scared." The trainer, Officer Daniels, sighed. "That's Duke. He used to be one of our top K9s, took down armed robbers, found missing children. But after his last mission, he changed. He doesn't trust people anymore. We keep him because no one can handle him." Grace whispered, "Let's move on." But Emma didn't move. She stood there, quietly, like she was listening to something beyond the barking. Then, almost in a whisper, she said, Can I try to touch him?" Everyone froze. Daniel shook his head. "That's not safe, sweetheart." But Emma smiled faintly. "It's okay. He can smell that I'm not afraid." She took one cautious step forward, the soft tap of her cane echoing down the hallway. Duke snarled, his teeth flashing. Grace's hand trembled on Emma's shoulder. "Emma, please." But the girl kept moving, slow, steady, until she was right in front of the gate. Then she did something no one expected. She knelt down. Her small hand reached through the metal bars, palm open, trembling slightly but calm. And in that moment, the whole room held its breath. Duke's growl deepened, then stopped. He tilted his head, sniffed her hand, and, instead of biting, lowered his nose against her fingers. The sound that came next wasn't a growl, but a soft, broken whimper. Officer Daniels whispered, "He's never done that before." Grace's eyes filled with tears. "Emma, what did you do?" The girl smiled gently. "Nothing. I just listened. If this moment touched you, tap like and help us spread more kindness in the world." Days turned into weeks. Emma began visiting Duke every afternoon. She'd sit outside his cage, talking to him about colors she could no longer see. The sky, the trees, her father's blue truck. Duke would listen, resting his head near her feet. When the trainers saw how calm he became around her, they decided to give it a try. Supervised interaction, short walks, slow introductions. The first time Duke was let out on a leash, the entire staff watched nervously. But as Emma reached for him, he didn't pull away. Instead, he moved closer, brushing his side against her leg, guiding her steps naturally. It was like he understood. Grace began to smile again, too. She'd watch from the sidelines, her heart torn between fear and pride. "He's changing her," she whispered once to Daniels. He nodded, eyes softening. Maybe she's changing him, too. Soon, Duke was assigned as Emma's official guide dog under probation. He'd walk beside her in the park, stopping gently when she approached a curb. When she stumbled, his body steadied her, and when she smiled, those rare, precious smiles, Duke's tail would wag, slow and proud. But the world isn't always kind. One afternoon, during a public training session downtown, a car backfired loudly. The sound echoed like gunfire. Duke froze. His old instincts kicked in. He barked, yanked the leash, eyes wild with flashbacks from his police days. Emma stumbled, calling his name. "Duke! It's okay, it's me!" But he didn't hear her. He ran. The city searched for hours. Officers joined, neighbors helped, and Emma sat on the station steps with her cane folded in her hands, whispering prayers to the air. Grace held her tightly, trying not to cry. "He'll come back, honey." But Emma only said one thing. "He's scared, Mom. He thinks he's failed me." 3 days passed. Then late at night, a call came. A retired officer had found a dog sitting outside the old K9 Memorial Park, silent, waiting. It was Duke. When Emma arrived, guided by her mother, the dog stood up slowly. He didn't bark. He just walked to her and rested his head in her lap. She knelt down, wrapping her arms around him, whispering through tears, "You found your way back, you always do." Officer Daniels watched from a distance and whispered, "You know, we used to say Duke was the toughest dog in the force. I think we were wrong. He's just the most loyal." If you're still watching, this moment means something to you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay with us, because stories like this are what keep kindness alive. From that day, Duke never left Emma's side again. Together, they visited schools, hospitals, and community centers, spreading awareness about therapy dogs and second chances. People who once feared Duke now knelt to pet him. He became a symbol, not of power or fear, but of patience and trust. One afternoon, during a visit to a children's hospital, a little boy asked, "Does he know you can't see?" Emma smiled. "He doesn't need to. He just knows how to walk beside someone who's been through darkness." And that's how Duke, the dog once labeled too dangerous to love, became the heart of a story that reminded everyone that sometimes broken souls heal each other in silence. When Duke passed away years later, the city held a memorial. Officers, children, families, all came to say goodbye. Grace stood beside her grown daughter, who now trained other guide dogs, and whispered, "He gave you back your light." Emma nodded, touching the tag that still hung around her neck. "Duke, K9 hero." She smiled through tears. "No, Mom, he just showed me it was never gone." If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Everyday Heroes, and tell us in the comments, when was the last time kindness changed your day?